UFC middleweight superstar Israel Adesanya is back and providing the entertainment. The two-time world champion was on the Today Show in Australia and praised his former rival Robert Whittaker on his recent victories. Here's what Adesanya had to say.
I was fighting the local hero, Robert Whittaker, who just actually had a great win.
Robbie, the uppercut. I mean, it was great to see him back.
Yeah.
This was the best part of the interview when the host asked Adesanya to head kick him. Here's what happened.
3, 2, 1.
And we finally got to see another face-off between Dricus du Plessis and Israel Adesanya. This was such a long, intense face-off. It was almost like Israel Adesanya had turned into a statue and didn't even blink once. This was exactly how I was expecting the face-off to go down. The rivalry between the two African fighters seems so intense. I honestly can't wait for UFC 305. What are your predictions for du Plessis versus Adesanya? Is Sean O'Malley fighting at the Sphere in Las Vegas for UFC 306, also now known as RIYADH Season Noche UFC? The UFC is still yet to announce the fights. The spectacle is set to take place at the Sphere in Las Vegas on September 14th, which is around 9 weeks away, with the headliner still yet to be announced. So what is the Sphere? I remember a couple months ago these TikTok videos of people at the Sphere watching movies like Interstellar. It looks absolutely incredible. It is a truly immersive fan experience. Bantamweight champion Sean O'Malley stated on his podcast that he's now started his training camp in case he's called to fight at UFC 306.
Okay, Sean O'Malley fighting again. Yep, no fucking update for you, fellas. I'm still hoping for the Sphere.
When Merab Dvalishvili was in India a couple months back, he did announce on a TV show that he will be fighting Sean O'Malley, possibly at UFC 306 at the Sphere.
Yes.
Wow. September at the Sphere. That's a big event. That's a big event.
Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here first. This is breaking news, absolutely breaking news.
As UFC President Dana White has said, the event will be a tribute to Mexican people who have had an incredible contribution to combat sports. So MMA fans are expecting current flyweight champion ALEXA Grasso to headline Noche UFC, possibly again against Valentina Shevchenko. ALEXA Grasso said she'd love to share the card with names like Conor McGregor or Max Holloway. So perhaps the Conor McGregor versus Michael Chandler card will be rescheduled much sooner than we think. There are so many big fights the UFC could make. Who do you want to see fight at the Sphere? So British heavyweight superstar Anthony Joshua has urged two-weight UFC champion Alex Pereira to move over to boxing. Anthony Joshua tweeted Alex Pereira should make a boxing debut one day. To which Alex Pereira replied, "I'm honoured you think so, it's always been my dream. I'm 37, I cannot make a career in it, so who do you recommend I fight?" To which Anthony Joshua replied, "The options are endless, champ. I'm sure something can be done." It seems like MMA fans online are so fed up of the whole MMA boxing crossovers. I've read one comment that said, "Boxers always looking to fight MMA fighters in boxing." And another one that said, "Boxers will eat a brick before stepping into the octagon." So what are your thoughts on the whole MMA to boxing crossovers? Do you like these gimmick fights or are you totally against it? One that I definitely want to see though is Sean O'Malley versus Ryan Garcia in MMA. We have seen quite a few MMA stars transition over to boxing and having, let's say, not the most competitive fights. Although we did see former UFC heavyweight star Francis Ngannou put on an impressive display of boxing against Tyson Fury in a 10-round fight, although he did lose via a second-round knockout against Anthony Joshua back in March in Saudi Arabia. Do we think AJ wants to make Alex Pereira a future opponent? With the UFC and RIYADH Season collaborating for UFC 306 in Las Vegas, the prospect of a future Pereira and Anthony Joshua fight seems more realistic. I can honestly see Anthony Joshua versus Alex Pereira taking place in Saudi Arabia sometime in the future. A new story online that definitely got me interested was learning that UFC renowned referee Mark Goddard saying that he'll never referee any of Leon Edwards' fights. In a recent interview on the Overdogs podcast, Mark Goddard revealed his early connection to Leon Edwards as one of his first MMA coaches. Here's what Mark had to say.
there any fighters you can't, like, ref?
Leon Edwards. You've never saw me referee Leon Edwards in the UFC, and you never will. Why? Because I was Leon Edwards' first coach, MMA.
The UFC is returning to Goddard's home country for UFC 304, with Leon Edwards defending his welterweight belt against Belal Muhammad. I'm sure that Belal Muhammad will have a huge amount of supporters in Manchester. I think he'll even get the same reception that Khamzat Chimaev did when he made his visit to Manchester. Remember this. So, what are your predictions for UFC 304? Please don't forget to share and like this video and comment below. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel.